like the Aflac duck's third cousin twice removed. I just... Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be the story of why I got lip injections and then why I got them dissolved a week later. This video is gonna be long. There's no way of decompressing it because it's a doozy. Before I get the story started, I do want to give a few disclaimers. The first disclaimer being, sorry if you can hear the garbage truck. You know, it's garbage day and I didn't take my garbage out. The second disclaimer being that I am fully aware of the mistakes that I made in the story. Half of the story, if not more, are based on my own mistakes and my own impulsiveness, I guess. The third disclaimer being that this story is in no way me bashing certain people or trying to put hate on anyone's name, but I am telling you guys a story to inform you to do your research on cosmetic injectables, medical spas, you know, the people that are performing these things, because they're not always as great as they seem on Instagram. Alright, so without further ado, let's just hop right in. So I'm going to give you guys a little backstory on me and why I wanted lip injections in the first place. I have wanted lip injections since middle school. I remember being teased countless amount of times because of how small my lips were. Now, I went to a mainly ethnic middle school. I myself being of mixed race, I am black and white. So when the kids at school found out that I was in fact mixed, they came at me for not looking black or looking mixed. So that included my body, you know, not being as curvy, my lips being smaller, all that kind of, you know, just bullying. Good old-fashioned bullying. So my lips became an insecurity of mine at a very, very young age. So I've looked into getting lip injections since like high school. I would go through phases of really wanting them and really looking and researching, and then you know, not really caring and just being like, whatever, I'll get them someday. So what prompted me into getting lip injections this time and what really made me go through with it was that my good friend that I was actually going on a trip with at the time was going to get them done. My friend texted me and was like, I'm getting my lips done on this date at this time with this injector. Do you want to do it too? I was like, yes, I'm gonna do it. Why not? I finally have the money. She's been going to this girl for years and I'm going to LA and I want to look good. This is really embarrassing for me to admit and I don't really want to admit this, but there was a boy that I liked, I guess. So not only me wanting lip injections, my friend saying, hey, I'm getting lip injections, let's go, and me wanting to look extra good for this boy that I was about to see again in LA, there was just no doubt in my mind that I wasn't gonna get these lip injections. But that was my first mistake right there. Any decisions like these should be made for yourself. Like I said, even though I wanted them before this boy came along, in my head I was like, this is the right time, like I'm gonna get lip injections and he's gonna like me more and blah 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 blah. First lesson of the video, just don't make decisions based on other people. Now the injector that we were going to, my friend has been going to her for years. She loves her, she swore by her. Swore as in past tense because after this story she's no longer returning to her. But yeah, she had nothing bad to say about her. She said she's so fun, she's so nice, she gets the job done quick and easy, painless. So I was like, cool. I was like, awesome. I'd rather go to someone that my friend has been to before, you know, instead of going in blind into a random medical spa. Now when she told me the lady's Instagram, I realized that I have come across this lady before in my previous lip injection hunts. Now I'm not going to be saying this lady's real name for obvious reasons, so we're gonna call her Karen. Like I said, I've been on Karen's Instagram before and she has some good looking results. She posts a lot of pictures of her before and after fillers. Some of her results look good, but some of them I wasn't really a fan of. And I feel like that's natural. You know, I feel like with any injector, you're gonna like some results more than others. Now, not only have I been on Karen's Instagram before, but I've actually DM'd her because a while back I was considering her to do my lip fillers. She told me that she was happy to answer any questions that I had through DMs. So we just kind of started asking her how much she charged for lip filler, if she did cheek filler, laugh line filler, all that. Every message I sent her after that, she didn't respond to, and when she finally did respond, she was just being very short and kind of sketchy with me. So yeah, I just didn't get a good vibe from her. The point of me telling you all the DM stuff is just to preface that I didn't have a good vibe from this lady right off the bat. But even though I did have this experience with Karen, I kind of threw all my gut feelings, my intuition, caution to the wind, and I was like, I trust my friend more than my intuition at this point. I'm just nervous, whatever, everything will be fine. And everything was not fine. So we show up to Karen's office, we go upstairs, we're greeted by her, everything seems cool, she seems really nice, she's talking to me about Justin Timberlake, she has Justin Timberlake's book in her office. I love this bitch already. So I thought she was really cool, but I was super nervous. She did ask me right off the bat if this was my first time ever doing something like this, because she could tell I was very uneasy. I asked her if my friend could go first just so I could see the process, and she told me no. My friend was getting a hydrofacial done that same day, so she was gonna numb me while she was getting her hydrofacial and then move me into the room and start doing it as she was finishing up with her facial. She told me I was gonna be fine. She put the numbing cream on me and she gave me the little form to fill out. So time passes by, my lips are numb, she moves me into the room, I'm all alone, my friend is still getting a facial. Now when she moved me into the room, things started going quite fast, which I wasn't expecting. I was really expecting her to bring me into the room and just sit me down, kind of talk me through everything, give me information about the different fillers, ask me what kind of results I wanted, all of that, but none of that happened. Like I've said, I've done tons of research on getting filler. That included watching YouTube videos and talking to my friends that have had any type of fillers done, and every single experience that I've witnessed through research has been a super slow, informative process. So I sit down, she starts wiping the numbing cream off, she starts prepping the needle, and I realize that I haven't told her how much filler I wanted, what kind of results I wanted, anything. I haven't told her anything. She was prepping the needle, she had her gloves on. Sis was ready to go. She was ready to fill me up. So as she has her gloves on and she has the needle in her hand, I panic and I hold up my phone and I'm like, can I show you kind of the results that I want or something? And she goes, oh, yeah. Hold on. She puts down the needle, she comes close to me, I start pulling up all my screenshots. I'm like, I really like these results, I want something super natural. Once I showed her the type of look that I wanted to go for, she asked me then if I wanted to do a full syringe. Now going in there, I had my mind set on half a syringe. Half a syringe when it comes to filler is not a lot. I'll put a little picture on the screen of what half a syringe looks like compared to like a full syringe. When I told her this, she immediately stopped me in my tracks and was like, for the results that you showed me, you're gonna have to do a full syringe. Now on the bottom of the pictures that I showed her, you know, it says how much filler they used, who it was done by, blah blah blah, and all of them were half syringe results. I told her this and she told me with the amount of lip that I was working with that we would have to do a full syringe to even get those results. We kind of went back and forth for a minute, me just being like, well, I'd rather start with 0.5 and then just get more. It's not a big deal to me, like I'll come back, I don't care about the drive, like blah blah blah. She told me that she thought that I would be really unhappy with half a syringe. She told me that she didn't want me to go through the procedure and then felt like I wasted my money on results that barely made a difference. I told her, okay, I guess we could do a full syringe. You're the professional, like I trust you. This brings me to another point in the story, I guess. A common known thing is that you can always add more to something, but it's always harder to take something out. Good injectors always say that if you're unsure of the amount that you want, start with 0.5. You can always add more, it's no big deal. Some injectors even do 0.5 in your lips, show you with a mirror, and then if you say you want them a little bigger, then you can go back and they'll add the rest of the syringe. It's just that easy. But no, Karen wasn't having it. She was set on putting a full syringe in my lips that day against what I wanted. And at that point, I should have ran for the frickin' hills. She starts injecting me and the process feels fine, you know, nothing out of the ordinary there. Finally, she's done and I'm ready to see my new lips. I am ready for them to be a little swollen, you know, like I've said, I've seen videos before and they do get a little swollen, but for the most part, everyone likes how their lips look originally fresh off the needle. So I'm ready. I'm freaking excited. She hands me the mirror and she says to my friend before I look in the mirror that I might be a little scared because they might look a little big. So I look in the mirror and my first words are, I look crazy. I knew. Mama made a mistake. Quickly, she starts telling me, listen, they're just swollen. Don't freak out. They're going to go down so much. They're going to be really swollen tomorrow, but then they're going to gradually go down. You'll be good. In like a week, your swelling will be gone. You're going to look perfect for LA, girly. Don't freaking worry. I get out of the chair and I'm sitting there and I'm constantly looking at my lips and I'm like, this isn't it. The size so much didn't scare me. It was more of the way they were shaped. Now I noticed right off the bat that one side of my lip was very uneven. She assures me that it's just more swollen because that's the side that she started with, and in my head I was like, okay, like that makes sense, like yeah, whatever. So I'm sitting there looking at my lips and my friend starts to get injected and I hear her ask my friend, so we're gonna do a full syringe of Juvederm Ultra Plus, correct? When I hear Karen say this to my friend, I immediately go, huh, I wonder what filler she used on me. Now, if you know anything about fillers, you would know that there are different types of fillers. There's Juvederm, Restylane, Radice. Juvederm is the most common type of filler, but there are different types of Juvederm. And all these different types of Juvederm can give you different results. Now, when I realized that she didn't tell me what type of filler she put into my face, I started to not panic, but I was just like, what is going on? Now I could be wrong, but I feel like going over the type of filler that you're going to be using in someone's face is a crucial part of the you know, injecting process. So after that, we left the office. I'm totally realizing that they might not be the worst lip injections to ever grace the planet, but I was unhappy with them. And I feel like going through a process like this, you know, you do it because you want to be more confident. I felt the complete opposite. So now we're going to start the third part of the story where I start talking about my healing process and why I got them dissolved. The day that you get your lip fillers are considered day 0. Now on that day, they were super uneven. They weren't that big, they weren't that swollen. I didn't bruise at all through the whole process. Right off the bat, I noticed that there was a lot of filler in the top portion of my lip. I'm going to move closer to show you guys. Up in like this section, I realized that I couldn't roll my lips together like this and that they were super hard, but apparently that's normal. So I was like, okay, that's fine, like it's gonna soften out, whatever. So official day 1 comes around and I wake up and my lips are super swollen. I wasn't really freaked out by this. I knew they were gonna be the worst the day after. So on day 1, I realized that I had a few lumps in my top lip. Obviously, she didn't give me any information about aftercare except for to ice my lips. Just to be sure, I messaged Karen and I told her that I had a few lumps and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to massage them or not, and she told me no. Now my friend told me that she previously told her to massage hers, so I was getting conflicting messages. I decided just not to massage them because she was telling me personally no, so I thought maybe she used different filler on me that didn't need to be massaged or what, but I just didn't touch them. Day 2 comes around and my lips are starting to go down. They aren't as swollen. They're starting to look like what they look like fresh off the needle. You know, they weren't too swollen, but they look like they should go down a little bit more. So the next day rolls around and my lips look the same for the most part. They might be a little bit smaller, but nothing crazy. This is when I realized that my lips weren't really changing as drastically as I thought they would be. That one side was still super uneven, but the overall size of my lips were the same. This is when I kind of started freaking out. I didn't have any bruising. For the most part, my lips weren't swollen. You can just tell when something is swollen, and like my lips, like they weren't. I really started noticing on this day that the size of my lips didn't bother me, the shape of them did. I realized that even if they still were swollen, that they would only get smaller, but the shape of them wasn't gonna change. The next day rolls around and they look the same. So I DM her on the 15th. I said, hey Karen, if by Monday I'm still not liking how they look, can I come in and get them dissolved? She replies, can you please give them 2 weeks before you make any decision? This is one of my mistakes, and I'm going to own up to it. Typically with lip injections, you should give them 2 full weeks to heal. Now from every other lip injection experience that I've seen, the only thing that really lasts for up to 2 weeks is the bruising. The swelling goes down by the first week, and most people start to think that their lips look small again after the first week. So I reply to her and I say, I'm sorry, I really don't like the shape and I think they may be a little too big. I should have gone with the half. If anything, I just need a little dissolved on the top. I think I don't like how they flip out so much. Monday will make a week, so I think I'm going to see what they look like then. Now obviously I didn't know how dissolving the lips work. I thought you could dissolve a little bit at a time, but you can't. It's acid that goes into your lips. It's going to dissolve what it wants, just to clarify that. She replied to me and said, I need you to wait 2 weeks. They are swollen, please give them time. They will go down a lot, they just need to heal. On August 17th, which would make an exact week of me getting my lip filler, I woke up and my lips looked the same. They were still uneven. They still flipped out way too much on the top. I just thought I was going to feel so much better after lip fillers, and it just made me feel so much worse. I told my friend that I wanted to get them dissolved, and she said, okay, you should go back to Karen. She told me typically 99% of the time that the injector that does your lip filler will dissolve them free of charge if you're not happy with them. I was like, cool, okay. I had come to terms with spending all this money on getting lip fillers and that it was basically going to be thrown down the drain, but whatever. I just wanted it out of my face and I wanted to look like myself again. So I DM her and say, hi Karen, I need to know if you have some time today for me to come in. I know my lips aren't technically fully healed and I'm aware that it is totally my fault for not giving myself enough time to heal before an event. My lips haven't decreased in size since the official day 2 and I really just don't want them anymore. So she messaged me back and says, hi, I'm in Chicago. If you'd like to dissolve your lips, it's $300. I wish you'd just give them time to heal. They will go down. This is the part of the story that makes me so mad. I knew this lady was no good from the beginning. After that message, I didn't respond to her. I realized fighting with her wasn't going to do any good. I quickly started DMing some other med spas and other injectors in the area, just trying to find anyone to get this filler out of my face because I leave for LA in 2 days. Finally, someone responds. She told me that she actually had an appointment available that day and that I could come in, but they do charge $325 to get it dissolved. She also informed me at the end of that message that if I was to go back to the provider, most medical spas dissolve for free if the client isn't happy. So I pack up my bag, I get in my car, and I set out on a journey to get my lips dissolved. A week later. Now, getting your lips dissolved is a painful process. So on my drive there, I was freaking the freak out. So I get there and I go up to the office and immediately I kind of feel good. Like I feel better. I feel comfort. You know, when you're just like walking to a space and there's like good energy and you're just like, okay, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, like alright. I sit down with the lady and immediately she is just super like nurturing and super informative. She's giving me all these facts. I'm sitting there, she's assessing my lips. She's telling me that this lady basically botched my lips. The filler that she put up here, she put mainly at the borders of my lips and she concentrated most of the filler right in the center. She told me that there was a little bit of filler over here, but there was absolutely no filler on this side and this like corner crevice whatever. She told me that there was absolutely way too much filler in the border of my lips, and that's why I had that like flipped out ducky Affleck Donald Duck type of look. So I get them dissolved, and it is the worst pain that I ever experienced in my flippin' life. If you don't know what the process of dissolving lips is, they basically take hyaluronidase, which is an acid, they inject it to your lips, and it breaks down the filler, and it basically feels like acid in your lips. Like, I have no other, like, it feels like a bee sting in your lip maybe, but like over and over and over and over again. I went home, I went to bed. The next day my lips were basically back to normal. I had the smallest amount of bruising, but yeah, the lip filler was gone and I looked like my normal self, and I was just so thankful to have my little lips back again. So after that, I obviously went to LA, but when me and my friend were there, she told me that I should message Karen and tell her that I was really upset with how the whole process went. So I sent her a pretty lengthy message on Instagram. I kind of went in and told her that, one, she didn't tell me what she was injecting into my face. Two, that I felt like she talked me into a full syringe even though I went in there only wanting half. I told her that I completely respected her decision because she is a professional, but I didn't really feel like she took into account what I was saying as the client. And then I mentioned how the other nurse that dissolved my lips said that she should have dissolved them for free and that most medical spas do that, and that how I was sketched out how she wanted to charge me $300. So I'm gonna read her response to me. She said, "Hi Caitlin. Firstly, I want to apologize that this experience wasn't what you had expected. In no way do I ever pressure people into getting filler, nor more than I would think is safe and or appropriate. In respects to what I injected you with, you signed consent forms agreeing to the process and the product, which was Juvederm. Even if it is in the liability consent form, whatever, I felt like she should have told me what we were using to address your concerns about dissolving. It can be used when someone is unsatisfied with their treatment for a fee. However, that is something I would have been happy to negotiate if you had waited at least 1 week before dissolving your lips so I could have looked at them and made any necessary tweaks. No adverse events were experienced during the treatment." She told me that she would have negotiated the price if I waited at least a week before dissolving them. Like I said, I waited a week exactly before I decided to dissolve them. The part about negotiating the price, I could have gotten the filler and 2 days later wanted it out of my face. Now, whether it was 2 days, a week, or 2 weeks, negotiating a price for taking something out of my face shouldn't, like, there should be no negotiating about it. It's either you have a set price or you do it for free. There shouldn't be any negotiation depending on the time frame. By her saying this, it really just solidified for me that this lady really was just money hungry, which I thought she was from the beginning, and I should have trusted my gut. But yeah, that's basically what happened. That was basically my experience with getting lip filler. Now, I wanted to make this video not only for entertainment purposes, but to kind of warn you guys that if you're looking to do something cosmetically, you know, even if it is as little as getting some filler, that you need to do your research. This experience, even though it is funny and I'm laughing at it now, it sucked at the time, okay? I spent so much money, I felt like shit about myself, and I don't want any of you guys to go through that. So please, if you take anything from this video, just freaking research. Don't do things based on other people, what other people are doing, what you want other people to think of you, and trust your freaking intuition, okay? But man, okay, I have been talking for hours. I hope this video makes sense. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you watch my videos, you know I don't really know how to end my videos, so I'm gonna go.